Hello everyone, and welcome to the NBA DFS Stars and Scrubs show for Friday, February 26th, 2021. My name is Dylan Bird, here once again on Sal Vetri's YouTube channel, and we got 3 stars and 4 scrubs to break down on this Friday night slate. First, just wanted to remind everyone to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out. It really helps Sal out. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at sports_bird. Follow me on Instagram at sports_bird. And check out my Patreon and YouTube channel in the link below. I do NBA player props. Got a live show at 5 p.m. today. So if you're into NBA player props, be sure to join. Check that out. Ask some questions in the live chat, and I will be sure to answer them. Also, before we get started here, just wanted to remind everyone about the sponsor of the show, and that is SuperDraft. SuperDraft is a daily fantasy platform, but in a multiplier format. It's a must play. Usually the contests are around 65%, 75% filled, which is a huge advantage for you as a player with the guaranteed prize pool. You have a better chance to win money. Projections are out for SuperDraft on Patreon if you check in the link below for Sal's Patreon. If you go onto SuperDraft, promo code SAL, S-A-L, you get a free money bonus up to $500 as you play in a slow drip format. Look, multiplier format is different, but sometimes it's great to switch it up. SuperDraft is a great place to do that. Check it out. Promo code SAL, S-A-L. Now let's get right to it, into the stars and the scrubs. And the first star that we are going to talk about on this slate is Warriors point guard Steph Curry at $9,700 against the Charlotte Hornets. Steph Curry comes into this game priced down to the lowest he's been since February 6th at $9,700. Really just because of one bad performance last game against the Pacers, where he still ended up putting up 48.5 DraftKings points despite shooting 7 for 21 and 1 for 11 from 3. We all know that's probably not going to happen again from Curry. He's not going to shoot 1 from 11 for 3 again. It'd be just a very odd off performance for him. Curry averaging 30 points per game this year, 6.3 assists, and 5.5 rebounds on the season to go along with 50 DraftKings points per game. He's had over 50 DraftKings points in 4 of his last 5 games. Goes up here against a Charlotte team that struggles on defense and especially struggles against the 3. Charlotte ranks 18th in opponent points per game at 112.3. They rank 29th in opponent threes made per game at 15.2 and 29th in opponent threes attempted per game at 40.9, 19th in opponent three-point percentage at 37.3%. They also rank 30th, dead last, in opponent assists per game at 28.0. So as Curry being a guy who averages 6.3 assists, you could expect assist numbers to possibly be up a little bit more even tonight against the Charlotte team. Charlotte also ranks 25th in opponent DraftKings points to point guards. So as a result of this, cheap price for Steph Curry and great matchup, I like Curry as my first star on the slate tonight. Now let's move into our second star on the slate tonight and talk about small forward from the LA Clippers. That is Kawhi Leonard at $9,100 against the Memphis Grizzlies. Kawhi Leonard, he isn't the fantasy player that a lot of these stars are in the NBA. He's not as good of a fantasy player as a guy like Giannis, Jokic, even Curry, as we just mentioned, LeBron, other guys who are top 5, top 10 players. However, still a very good fantasy player, obviously. He's Kawhi Leonard, and this is a very good price for him at $9,100. Leonard only had 32.75 DraftKings points last game against Memphis, but it was a blowout. Kawhi only played 32 minutes. There's no way the Clippers get blown out against Memphis 2 games in a row. Kawhi's averaging 26.7 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, and 4.9 assists per game to go along with 46.4 DraftKings points per game. His usage rate all the way up at 31.2%, which ranks in the 99th percentile amongst all forwards. Memphis also ranks 25th in the NBA in opponent DraftKings points allowed to small forwards. At the low price here of $9,100, I like Kawhi Leonard as my second star on this slate tonight. Now let's move on here to our third star on the slate tonight, and that is combo guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder at $8,800 against the Atlanta Hawks. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been unreal lately. Gets his price bumped up to $8,800 because of it, but honestly, it is worth it. He's put up 61 DraftKings points, 40.5 and 51.5 in his last 3 games. Again, deserves the price bump. Honestly, could be over $9K. That would be fitting for him at this point. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander averaging 23.5 points per game on the season, 6.4 assists, and 5.3 rebounds to go along with 42.3 DraftKings points per game. His usage rate up to 31.5% on the season, which ranks in the 79th percentile amongst all point guards per cleaningtheglass.com. He goes up against the Atlanta Hawks here. They are plummeting in all defensive rankings. The Atlanta Hawks are horrible on defense. That's why they're losing a lot of games. They, never were supposed to be good at defense at the beginning of the year. Kind of had a fluky beginning where they had, a top 10 defense in terms of opponent points per game for a while. That is the days of that are way gone. They rank 22nd in opponent points per game at 113.1. They also rank 29th in opponent DraftKings points per game. 2 combo guards. Look, I like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as my third star on this slate. I think he goes off against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Now let's get into the scrubs of this slate and start off here with center TRISTAN Thompson of the Boston Celtics at $4,700 against the Indiana Pacers. TRISTAN Thompson has been a lot more productive than his teammate Daniel Theis recently. He's had 28 or more DraftKings points in 4 of his last 5 games. Pretty solid for a guy priced in the $4,000 range. Over these last 5 games, he's averaging 26.4 minutes per game, 13.2 points, and 8.8 rebounds. A lot of double-double potential there. Indiana ranks 27th in opponent points in the paint per game at 49.5. They rank 19th in opponent rebounds per game at 45.2. Again, big double-double potential here for TRISTAN Thompson. I think as long as he gets, in the mid-20s in minutes, upper 20s in minutes, like he's been getting, I think he has a decent night against the Pacers here. Very, above average for $4,700 at his price. And as a result, I like him as my first scrub on this slate tonight. Now, for the second scrub that we're going to talk about, we go to Detroit. We are looking at point guard Saben Lee at $4,300 against the Sacramento Kings. I will be honest, as a basketball fanatic, I had no idea who Saben Lee was until very recently. But look, he's playing very well. All credit to him. He's a rookie, was taken early second round in the 2020 draft from Vanderbilt, playing really well. Over the last 3 games with DeLon Wright, Lee has put up 28 fantasy points, 34.75 fantasy points, and 30 fantasy points. He's played 22, 29, and 33 minutes in those games. Goes up against a Sacramento Kings team that can't play defense at all. They just let up 140 points to the Knicks last night. Now they go to Detroit on the road, back-to-back here for the Kings. I mean, just a tough task for them to go from New York to Detroit. When you already can't play defense, now you're tired. I mean, look, they're screwed tonight. The Kings rank 30th in the NBA in opponent points per game at 120.5. They rank 26th in opponent assists per game at 26.4. 24th in opponent threes made per game at 13.6. I think Lee is a nice play here at $4,300. He doesn't normally start. Dennis Smith Jr. will probably start over him, but Saben Lee is just a better player than Dennis Smith Jr. It appears Dennis Smith Jr. is also priced higher. I'm going to go to Saben Lee anytime here at $4,300. Now let's get into our third scrub on the slate tonight, and that is small forward, power forward KENRICH Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder at $3,500 against the Atlanta Hawks. Hamidou Diallo and Al Horford are out tonight for OKC, which means increased minutes and usage for KENRICH Williams. When guys were out last week, or a couple of weeks ago, Williams was seeing in the mid to upper 30s in minutes, putting up a decent amount of DraftKings points, put up, mid to high 30s a couple of times. Like I mentioned with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Hawks defense is really bad, ranks 22nd in opponent points per game at 113.1, 22nd in opponent DraftKings points to small forward, power forwards. I think KENRICH Williams, with a lot of guys out, will provide nice value on the slate, priced all the way down at $3,500 here against a bad Atlanta Hawks defense. Now let's move into the fourth scrub on this slate tonight, and that is Tony Snell at $3,400 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Last couple of games, Tony Snell has received an increase in minutes due to the fact that Cam Reddish has been out with Achilles soreness. Reddish is questionable for tonight's game. If Reddish plays, then Tony Snell will no longer be a scrub play on this slate. But if he is out, then Snell will certainly be in play. With him out the last 2 games, Snell's put up 26.5 DraftKings points, 23.25 DraftKings points in 29 and 33 minutes, respectively. He goes up against an Oklahoma City Thunder team who ranked 26th in opponent DraftKings points to shooting guards, 16th in opponent points per game at 112.1. Thunder aren't very good defensively, aren't very good in general. I like Snell tonight only with Reddish out, so we'll have to see what happens. But with Achilles soreness, it doesn't sound that good that he's going to play. So assuming Reddish is out, I like Tony Snell at $3,400 against the Oklahoma City Thunder as my fourth and final scrub play on this slate. And that is a wrap for the NBA DFS Stars and Scrubs show for Friday, February 26, 2021. Be sure to comment with other plays that you like. Be sure to comment with any questions you have. I'll be sure to answer it. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out. It really helps Sal out. Goodbye, everyone, and good luck with your DFS lineups tonight.